Okay, so as Robin mentioned, I am going to be talking about growing awareness of the body talk system through wellness days and expos and how this feeds into strategies to build your body talk practice. So let's get into that. Okay, there's just a quick agenda. I'll do a bit of a welcome and an introduction. For those of you that don't know me, I'll do that introduction. Why wellness days and expos, that's my experience, and why they are so important, not just in growing your practice, but in building awareness of the body talk system. And then networking opportunities. I did a previous YouTube on networking, but this is one of the best ways to network as a body talk practitioner. And then how it provides educational and hands-on opportunities. And then I'm going to go a bit into strategies for success and building your practice. And then we'll have a quick Q&A if there are any questions. If it's just Robin and I, but that's fine. Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, I have been in full-time practice since 2018. I came out of I was in the corporate world for 15 years in the chemical industry. I'm an analytical chemist by trade. And I found body talk through my own personal necessity after struggling with a chronic shoulder pain that was resolved with body talk. So as Robin mentioned, when I left the corporate world, my first place that I decided I needed to reach out to was the South African Body Talk Association, and I got involved there as the Johannesburg representative as well as the Wellness Day coordinator. I also am the founder of BU Global Health and Wellness, which I founded in South Africa as a platform for not just myself, but other body talk practitioners who wanted to connect with the community. And I had a wellness center in South Africa that was just starting off, and moving to Seattle 2.5 years ago, I needed to close that practice down. And my goal is still to have a body talk hub or center for body talk in Seattle, where other practitioners can practice from and we can run courses from. So that is still the plan. And then being body talk the system that it is, I work with clients all over the world, and we grow body talk through word of mouth through those clients as well. So let's get into the rest of it. So why wellness days and expos? So firstly, when I started, we started doing wellness days with the South African Body Talk Association in 2019. We didn't just do expos that were holistic expos and things like that. What we actually did as well is we were invited to, in South Africa, corporate companies did wellness days where they would invite different healthcare providers, including the medical insurance, and those people that would come and do some of the tests that they would do, and they would have other practitioners and other modalities and other things there that we actually got involved with, that very intensely involved. And we did, in 2019, we did 29 corporate wellness days. And when I say increased visibility, we had the one day we were at a company and we had a line of 175 people waiting for a demo body talk session. That was one of our first ones that we ever did. And from that, word of mouth, we were asked, we almost had one every single week through one of the companies that we worked with. What does this do? It positions us as key players in the wellness community, because those mini sessions, as the people were lying down on the therapy beds, you can see down in the bottom left-hand side picture, we had, I think that specific one, we had 5 therapy beds that we had laid out there, and we had people coming through there. And so we really didn't have much time. We could only do 10-minute sessions, but we had people lying down there with a headache that was a 6, 7 out of 10, standing up after 10 minutes and the headache was gone. So this just created this word of mouth that people were just coming through to us the whole time. And that did position us as a key player in the wellness community. We were one of the first that they would ask to come through to these corporate wellness days. And through all of these, you do create a very, very diverse audience. And then obviously you have the expos as well, which are a lot of times are people that are already aware of energy work or any of the more complementary alternative modalities. They will be aware of that. But when we branched out into these corporate spaces or business spaces, we start building a very, very different type of audience. And we thereby able to showcase the body talk system. And in one single event, you reach a huge audience, whether it be a corporate day or whether it be an expo. And while we are there, so one of the things, and we'll go more into this later on in the presentation about strategies when you are at these days. But if you have a look at the right hand side bottom picture over there, every single one of those people that is in that picture, through those 29 wellness days that we did, every single one of those people got those 10 clients that were then word of mouth for them and grew their practices that way. The direct engagement and collecting feedback, engaging interest in real time, that was what we were doing. We collect the information, we get back to them afterwards with an email, but that will come up a bit later as well. And also what we're able to do here is interact directly with attendees, answer questions, and do demonstrations. Because if we just trying to build just through social media or trying to build our practice through talking to people, they're not able to ask you direct questions. When you are there with them in person doing these demo sessions, that is when it becomes very, very powerful through those demonstrations. And again, they're building trust through these personal interactions, because once they've laid down on your massage table, your therapy bed, and they have experienced such a massive shift, it already then has built that trust before they've even come to see you at your practice. Okay, and as I mentioned, networking opportunities, there's another whole presentation on that, so I'm not going to go too much into detail on the networking opportunities, but just these corporate events as well as the expos provide the opportunity for us to connect with other professionals. As you can see down in the bottom right-hand picture, there are other tables besides the Body Talk table that are people with other offerings within the wellness space, which will be present at all of these, whether it be an expo or whether it be a wellness day at a corporate company. You will connect with other professionals who, other wellness practitioners and organizations that you could then potentially work alongside with, collaborate. They will send referrals. Because also what happens in that space is it's not just the people from the company or from the visitors to the expo that are coming through. You have got 100 other vendors that are there that are having a look at what you're offering, coming to lie down on the therapy table, having a demo session, and then that word of mouth again, because the shifts that are experienced even in just a 10 or 15-minute session are hugely profound and do lead to this word of mouth referrals. And expanding your network. If you have a look at the presentation I did on networking, there was one quote there that is your network is your net worth, because and that's just not from a monetary perspective. It's how many people you connect with, because connecting with people builds trust and builds relationships. And that is a key thing in your practice, in life, is building those relationships. And that comes through networking, being out there, talking to people. And and I know it's different in a lot of countries, but staying updated with industry trends and best practices, this is hugely important, especially in the space that we work in the Pacific Northwest, but globally as well. Is we need to stay on top of what is happening out there with the alternative and complementary medicine, energy medicine, what is happening with all of those things, connecting with other people, and the best practices to do so. So that's just a little bit on networking and the importance of that happens at these wellness days and expos. Okay, so what else can we do at these workshops and expos? So we were often given the opportunity before the wellness day started at these corporates or these companies to give a 10-15-minute talk about the Body Talk system and what it is. And we don't just educate people by doing that. We ourselves are teaching ourselves how to speak about the body talk system, how to gauge people's feedback when we are giving these, and understanding what it is that we need to be telling them that draws people to this incredible system that and thereby we in these talks we would share success stories, we would share case studies, those create your testimonials, and we build on that. And it's hugely powerful when we are able to stand in front of people with these stories and share that, whether it be from other companies, from private clients. We're able to share that at these workshops and seminars. Now, the hands-on experience, we had a lot of the students that were first-time fundamental students, or people that were busy certifying, that would come to these wellness days and expos. And even if they didn't feel confident to sit down and do a session, if they were students and they just started, they would spend more time explaining body talk to the potential clients that were going to come through and have these mini sessions. They would explain it, and they would grow their confidence in explaining what body talk is, how the system works, and watching the practitioners do these demo sessions, how they would speak to the clients, what they would say. So there's a lot of power in students, in maybe people who've done body talk a couple of years ago that haven't quite been in full-time practice but are looking to do so. It's a very, very powerful way to get back in to the body talk system and to start building your confidence again. And then it also, from the attendees side, from the people that are either at the expos or the employees that work at the companies, they are getting first-hand experience. And when you get this first-hand experience of the body talk system, one of the first things they do is they go home and they tell their families, "You're not going to believe what I had experienced today. I had this headache, or I had this pain," and so it just filters through into the communities, that group consciousness of what is the body talk system and how powerful it is. Okay, now let's have a look at how how you need to position yourself for strategy, and the strategies for success in building your practice using these expo studies. So one of the first things that is hugely important is how you set up that, be at a corporate, whether it be at a wellness day, because that is what connects people and walk past. Is something will catch their eye that they're either struggling with, or maybe one of the core the information for on the table. So one of the things is to make sure that you have a very informative booth that has got that is very inviting, with banners, visuals, brochures. A lot of the other things that we would do at the expos and wellness days, which we are building through into 2025 to be able to do this as well, is to even have visuals in the background that showcase courtesies, showcase maybe somebody doing a demo session, on the screen as well, that'll draw people to the booth. But that is a lot of the stuff that we did when I was doing the wellness days for the South African Body Talk Association. And when you come, it's not just about showcasing the Pacific Northwest Body Talk Association. As a member, or as a student member of the Pacific Northwest Body Talk Association, one of the things that is hugely important at these days is that you are able to showcase your own practice. You bring your own business cards. You have those there, because once you've done a demo session, that client's going to want to know how to contact you. So you bring your own business card. So it's a very good way to get your own name out there and not just build the awareness of the body talk system, but your credibility as a practitioner. So that is why I suggest that you have your cards, have them already done. Even if you are still busy trying to build your practice, give your business an identity. Robin did a whole YouTube video on giving your business an identity and making sure that, so we need to make sure that we have those available when we are at these days. And when I speak, the engaging presentations, that a lot of the time is understanding how you speak about the body talk system. And this is a fantastic way to gain confidence in how to speak about it, what it is that we need to be saying to draw people in, for them to understand that there is an alternative to, or there is hope for some people and who have had chronic issues for a very, very long time. And then, if you are expected to do a interactive talk or a workshop, make sure you're prepared for that. Make sure that you understand what it is that you are going, what message it is that you're wanting to put forward. Understand that you know how to talk about the body talk system, and that'll build your credibility at these days as well. And I've mentioned there the multimedia tools that I spoke about before. So making the whole experience dynamic and memorable. The first picture on the left-hand side that you see there was our setup at one of the metaphysical and wellness fairs here in Seattle. And the bottom right picture is was one of the wellness fairs that we were at. We had a booth at in South Africa. So you can see the table layout is very, very similar, because then you're also building credibility of the system, because if people go and have a look, it's consistent along, through countries, it even is consistent. One of the most important things, one of the most important strategies in building your practice from these wellness days and expos is to follow up with the people that have laid down at your table and had a demo session and have felt profound shifts, because they will feel these profound shifts, is for you to follow up afterwards. Send them a thank you email, offer them a discount on their first session, because that is how you then get them into your practice, build your credibility, and you start building your practice through word of mouth. Okay, so with all of that said, I hope that was some good information for you and will help you to understand why it is so important for you as either a new student, practitioner, or a practicing member of the association, or anyone thinking of joining the association, is join us at these fairs, build that confidence, come through, and even if you don't want to do the demo sessions, just come and be there. Come and be in the energy, come and be in the space, and understand how you can get into the position where you are able to do those demo sessions, build your practice, and build the awareness of body talk globally at the same time. So we already have our first one lined up for January, the Alchemy Fair. It is only a one-day event. Normally there are two. And this one, just some information that I got from the organizers, there were 146 tables. There are 17 left. And now there's 15, because I took 2 tables on over the weekend. I booked 2 of those tables. And then, if you kind of put the details, why do you want to attend this? Just besides the booth that we have there, you'll discover a variety of holistic health practice, interactive sessions, not just ones that we could participate in, but other ones that are given by some of the other holistic health practitioners that are there. And again, networking, you will connect with other wellness professionals and enthusiasts that then again. And as I've mentioned, you will gain experience as a practitioner or a student and be able to enhance your skills through this real world practice at these days. And then, like I've mentioned, training clients, built trust while you have been doing these mini sessions at these 4 wellness days. And building connections, that is probably one of the biggest keys to building, is building connections with potential clients, but also with other practitioners. So join us. Please come and join us at the fair. And if you are watching this and you would like to know more about the Pacific Northwest Body Talk Association and how you can become a member, please log on to our website, and we will. I don't think I put the link on here, but if you just go search Pacific Northwest Body Talk Association, you'll find us. Go onto the website, and if you want some more information, send us a message, or just click on the join now button and join as a student or join as a practicing member. So that is the end of the presentation. So if there are any questions from you, Robin, or anything you think somebody else might want to know, then let me know. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Vanessa. You want to turn off the screen share?
Yeah.
I do have a question that I think people would want. Actually, this is my question too. So in our area, we've done pretty well finding expos.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, that's if you touched on this, I didn't catch it. But how do you find them? How do you get connected? And so for expos, we've done pretty well just Googling and finding local things, and then there's usually a place to apply. And that's been working out. But wellness days, getting in at those, how do you, and which we would really like to do, because we would like to, not only be where they're selling the crystals, we want to be like where people have no idea what this is. So how do you get in?
Okay, so that I was going to, one of the things I was going to bring up in the Q&A, I didn't do a specific slide for it because I wanted to reach out to, as a Pacific Northwest Body Talk Association, we are not just based in Seattle. We have got members that are in Canada. We have got members or potential members in other regions around Washington State. And we are going to be looking for regional representatives, because that's the first key, is to have somebody on the ground in those areas. So here we've done very well at finding the expos, which have been very, very powerful. But one of the things is that's why we look to our members and we look to our representatives that we are going to be reaching out and looking for. Is that's where network building is so important, because it's the people in your network, even clients, that are going to get us into those wellness days. I already have, there are four of my clients that are in the corporate space that I've had discussions with, who are looking at bringing us in 2025, based on the trust that I've built here with them. Is they are wanting to know how we can do that, because I speak to people about them. So it's about speaking to your network, speaking to your clients, understanding more about your clients and what they do. And if they trust you, they will be happy to go through and share. So that is how we did those wellness days in South Africa, was through building those relationships first with clients, or meeting people, speaking about the Body Talk system. No matter where you are, you can be at I'll use Thanksgiving as an example because that's coming up now. You could be at a Thanksgiving event with people that you don't necessarily know very well. They might be a connection. So the biggest thing is networking, speaking about the Body Talk system. But the biggest thing with that is understanding how to speak about it from that perspective, which is a very scientific based, and there is that scientific basis of the Body Talk system. So understanding how to speak about it from all the different aspects, and not just the crystals at the fair and but really how to speak about it and being a key player in that. That is where those will come from.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is the way to connect and get access to things like wellness days is to know people.
Yeah.
It's not a thing you're just going to Google and they're going to have an application. You gotta need to make connections.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes total sense. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, in my region, we don't have much in the way of big corporations, but we have a university and we have a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're saying that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know, of course, many people who are connected to both of those institutions, because they're the big employers in my area. So, yeah, things like that.
Hmm.
Okay, that's really cool. And you want to just touch briefly on you have this gorgeous setup on these. So our setup has gotten better and better, and that's I got to hand a lot of that to you, Vanessa. Although everyone that's been going has been contributing and participating, um, but we now have a kit, and we have a tote that is like ready to go. What sorts of things do you put in the tote so we don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time we do an event? So, what kinds of things are in our go bag for to bring to one of these events?
Okay, so we have a protocol chart. We have we have an iceberg, a picture of the iceberg. So these are the two most important things that I've found when explaining it to people, that you can really get down to and very quickly explaining it, that gets people to go, I want to try that. Is when you explain the iceberg, it makes sense to a lot of people. And then we have brochures, we have any of the courses that are coming up, we have those printed. We, all the general things, a tablecloth,
Well,
all of
those
those
aren't
bits and
general.
pieces.
Those aren't general,
But I
really.
guess they're not general for people. So it
Uh-huh.
would be to make anything to make the booth again their standards though. So there we would have generally a white tablecloth with all of the brochures, with all of those things on them, a massage table with pillows, with a blanket, with all of those things that make it more comfortable, make it more inviting for the participants or the attendees that are going to be there, that make them want to lie down on that table, and invite them to. And I know that Ellen, at the last one, she was very much promoting body talk for nurses. So she even had her stethoscope out on the table. So if you have something, a niche of your own, put that out there, buy your business card. So, and that's the other thing, your business cards, make sure that you have yours, because that is how you grow your own practice through these wellness days and expos. And as we move through and we, regional representatives, once we have people that are wanting to look for wellness days and expos in their regions, we will then connect with you and make sure that you have what you need and it's all consistent along the board.
Okay. Yes, the regional representative thing, we just crossed into that realm. We just kind of reached a size where, yes, we're going to need, and a geographical size, really, as much as anything, where we will be needing people to sort of just be a touch point for our for our regional association, which then we are in turn a touch point for the international association.
Mhm.
So we need people. We need people on the ground. So if you think you're one of those people, then reach out to us. We'll be sending some more emails out about that as well. Okay, I don't have any. I think those are my questions that I've had. And but I do want to just add something now that we're in the Q&A piece. Honestly, for me, doing expos and wellness days and talks and just kind of showing up to this stuff, which is not my comfort zone. Like I'm not into this stuff. Like I'm introverted, as you may have heard me say if you've been around me any length of time. Like this is not a thing that I'm like, yay. But I do it. Once I'm doing it, it's fine. I'm always stage frighty, but it's worth getting over that stage fright because this is why I have a practice. I mean, I have a full-time waiting list practice. And it is because of doing this kind of thing, because there's really only so far you can get with your network of your people that you know. Um, but when you go to these kinds of events, it just opens so many new doors and you just connect with people. And I even attending these kinds of events, sometimes I'll make connections, but for sure, giving people an opportunity to take a minute to be like, "What is it that you do?" And then the demo sessions are what sells it. Like, to me, every time it's like, "Well, that's like, what do you do in the iceberg and the brochures and the signs and the posters and the flags?" Like that's great. But then let's do a demo session, and people are like, "Wait, what? Hold on, what is this?" And every time, it's just I mean, I've gotten many clients this way, and then, like Vanessa referred to, I truly have met the people who then told a bazillion people about me through this platform by going to places that I wouldn't have met them otherwise. If I hadn't have set up my booth and set up my table and done my demo session on a whole bunch of strangers and had a lot of small talk, which I'm not very good at, but I did it. And that is how it all happened. And now have, now I get to live my dream of doing my right work for a living. So this is highly recommended. It's kind of not like just a sort of an optional nice thing. It's a key. And this South African Body Talk Association totally grew through this, through the 29 wellness days, like the whole association grew. People's individual practices grew and the group as a whole grew. And the same thing is happening now with our group. So we had people coming to the fundamentals class that would not have known we existed were it not for some of the expos that our folks were at. So, and now they're into it, and now they're like, they've become members, and they're on their certification pathway, but they found out about it through
You're an
Expo.
expert. Mhm.
So that's why we're sharing this with all of you all, because it can be a little scary, but it is 100% worth it. It's really worth your time. And another thing we haven't acknowledged is it's also not free. You do have to pay for your booth fees. Those vary a lot. You can do some research on that. I don't know about wellness days. Do you pay to do a wellness day?
Generally not. It depends on I mean, sometimes the corporates even pay you to come there.
Yeah,
It
because that's
depends.
the difference. They're
Yeah.
looking for someone to, yeah.
Hmm.
But for expos, generally there's a booth fee, and they can vary in price. But just be aware of that. But it's an investment. It's a worthwhile investment. So that's my little. I just want to throw that in. Throw that
Thank
in.
you, Robin.
Yeah, this is
Fantastic.
good stuff. Let's all do it.
It's
And keep
good.
an
It's
eye,
fun.
if you're in our local area when we have upcoming expos, I do send out an email, and so the next time you get an email saying, "Hey, you want to participate?" You say, "Yes, I want to participate."
And
Come
if
out.
you see or hear something in your region, even if you're not in our general area, let us know. Let the association know. We can support you. We can see how we can support you. If it's any of our members that are not in Washington State, or any potential members that are, or people that just want to reach out and they listen to this and they go, hey, I know somebody, or I know an expo, reach out. Let's see how we can support you in getting them going in whatever region you are in.
Mhm. And the best way to reach out to us is contact@pnwbodytalk.com, just in case you're watching this on YouTube or got this forwarded to you or what have you. Okay. Well, those are my questions. Got anything else, my friend?
I don't. That is it.
Well, I hope that this was really helpful for everybody that tuned in. Thank you so much for being here. And like I say, starting not next month, December 2025, we have a rest month. But December 2024. But January 2025, we'll be back, and we'll be this will then be called the Body Talk Business Cafe, and we will have from then on, we will hit stop on the record, and then we can just talk about whatever's going on with you and your business and your body talk practice. So we're going to be opening up that opportunity. But we'll be keeping our presentations and announcements, and we're going to just keep on supporting you however we can, because this is our mission. This is our work. So thank you, our friend, wonderful friend, Vanessa. And
Thank
thank you
you.
to all of you who were able to tune in. And yeah, I think that's a wrap.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll see all of you soon. Thanks again, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.